This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
Why buy a system? Why buy the assistance? Why buy the help? Why buy the support? If you are flexible and go, hey, you know what? I have a pretty good idea what I'm doing, but man, I would love some guidance, and you're a grinder. You can grind things out, make it happen, work hard. Then I don't know why you wouldn't partner with somebody who could take you by the hand and go, hey, here's your next steps.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the latest edition of the Franchising 101 podcast. I am Tim Parmeter, founder and CEO of FranCoach and your podcast host. Today, we've got not one, but two guests coming on. We've got an amazing powerhouse of a couple coming on to talk about their journey as franchise owners, but not of one franchise. They own two different franchises, and one of them in multiple locations. So we're going to hear their story of kind of their origin story, some of the trials and tribulations at the beginning, but also how they have really scaled into being not just owners, multi-brand, multi-unit, and absolute top performers. So really, really eager to be able to share their story. We're going to do that in a moment, right after a quick reminder of who we are at FranCoach. FranCoach is the premier franchise consulting firm. Our number one goal is to properly educate you on franchise ownership to determine if you should own one. And if so, we're going to help you find your absolute best fit. Our educational approach ensures we focus on the client's best interest. We are not here to sell you a franchise. In fact, we don't sell anything. Finding the best franchise to own is an incredibly personalized and individualized process that can only work with a team of experts focused on what is truly most important. That's you. FranCoach, our services are always 100% free to use, so reach out to our team. Click the QR code or find us at francoach.net. Now, let's get back to the show. All right, folks, we are back on the Franchising 101 podcast, and today I am always love our conversations with franchise owners. This one is a super cool dynamic. I'm thrilled to be able to have them on as a guest. We have joining us from beautiful and lovely Tulsa, Oklahoma. We have Jenny and Jeremy Smith. Jeremy and Jenny, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having us, Tim.
You're excited now. Just wait. I told you this was nice and easy before I hit record, and then it's just my way of suckering people in to get them off guard. But we got a bunch of,
we'll be all right.
But exactly, bunch of questions because it's very rare. I think maybe you guys may be the first. We've had husband-wife teams, but we have husband-wife team here that each owns their own franchise. So we got a lot to unpack there. But I always like just kind of hearing stories. And so, guys, give us a little bit of your, there was life before franchising, right? So give us a little scoop on Jeremy and Jenny and kind of how we got into all this.
Well, we started I started in central Oklahoma. Jenny can tell her past, but we were in central Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, which is where I'm originally from. And I was a service professional for Mr. Electric. So was not an owner. I was the one out there doing all the work and twisting the screwdrivers. But it was back in 07, 08 in that time. Tim, I don't know if you remember or the listeners remember what happened in those times, but was a huge crash in everything.
Right.
And so, the Mr. Electric there wasn't doing great. I kind of just worked with him. I mean, I kind of helped him take ownership of it, and we really dug ourselves out of a hole there. And even though I wasn't owner or anything, I was invested in him, and he was invested in us. Jenny worked there as well. Were you dispatching or CSR at the time?
Yeah, it was dispatcher. Yeah.
So we both worked for him. The name was Bob and Denise Cuney. They were the owners of Central Oklahoma before we bought it. And they were great. They were like mentors of ours. We didn't know much about franchising at that time, but Jenny is originally from the Tulsa area, and I'm originally from the Oklahoma City area. And Tim, we knew we were moving back up here. You know, we're big believers and so forth. And man, I heard pretty clearly the Lord was moving us back up here. We just were waiting for an open door.
Yeah.
And I had my contractor's license. I was ready to go. And then obviously an opportunity to buy Tulsa came open here. And so we moved up here and started business in 2014. And then, I mean, there's a lot we can fill in the gaps here, but I mean, basically it went from, we wore all the hats. Junie was doing stuff in the house. We were raising adoptive kids to all the way to slamming our head against the wall, trying to make something work without any kind of capital. We were just bootstrapping the whole thing to, I could tell you all the things not to do. We both until 2020, we started getting the hang of things, and then things really just started working out, turning around. In 2020, we purchased out the past owner in Oklahoma City, so now we have Mr. Electric of Oklahoma City, Mr. Electric of Tulsa. Well, we have a bunch of DBAs like Edmond, Norman, all of them. But anyways, we basically operate as 2 locations. And then in 21, right, we got Molly Maid.
Yeah, May of 21, we took over.
And like I said, I'm giving the Reader's Digest here. And you can ask me any question you want to fill in the blanks. But in 2021, we purchased an existing Molly Maid, and that's where Jenny came in to the ownership. There was like, hey, she raised her hand and said, I'll do that too. So, anyways,
yeah, and I got a chance to meet you at you guys at an event and kind of heard a little bit of this story. And so it's like, Jenny, it was kind of like you guys found the Molly Maids, and then what were your kind of thoughts on like, oh my gosh, we're going to take on something else. How are we going to do that? Kind of talk about how that kind of transpired.
Yeah. So at the time we had 2 kids at home. One was already out of the house. As he said, we are an adoptive family. So our boys were older. And then I had like a 4-year-old and a newborn.
Oh,
and we were doing well with Mr. Electric. I was helping some on the back end of some things, but nothing like customer facing. I was not daily operations. I was definitely on stuff that could be done during nap time, after everybody was in bed, whenever I could get it done. And so he came home and he had a conversation with a lot of neighborly owners. We were really just trying to get like a networking group going for neighborly owners in our territories. And we knew after we had started Mr. Electric of Tulsa ground up, that it would really have to be something special for us to dig something else out again. It's like having another kid. Like it's truly like you have to, for the first 5 years of it. I mean, that business is reliant on you for everything. Just like a child, like everything.
And we did not start our business. Matter of fact, give you a sneak peek of what happened. We actually just drove a van. I talked to Bob and I was like, hey, he's like, well, I guess you're going to go start business in Tulsa. And I was like, well, why don't I just, continue working for you, and I'll just drive a van to Tulsa and get to work up there. Which, of course, neighborly or the franchisor didn't know nothing about. Because we're operating in a totally different area. And so we didn't know any better. It was out of ignorance. And we just drove up, started a pay-per-click ad and started work. And the neighborly was like, at that time it was Dwyer Group. They were like, whoa, hey, hold on. Hey, you can't just do that. And Jenny and I were like, well, we're doing it. We're operating and we're sending you royalties. So figure it out on your end. And I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. We did not go a smooth route. We didn't have, any kind of capital. Anyways, it was pretty messed up. I would recommend people to go the proper routes.
Follow the process.
We didn't quite go the proper route, so
it's not like they spend all this money developing these processes for people to just like do whatever they want to do, which is But
good for you guys for the effort that you had, right? Just kind of that sheer determination, right? But it's, I always think, regardless of the franchise, when people have struggles at the beginning, it's almost exactly what you said, right? There's some deviation or a lot of deviation from it. And then it's like, man, don't do like, and so and it's a cool part of the process too, where, and I know you guys do a lot of validation calls for both of your brands. Sure. And I'm sure there's a lot of like, don't do this, right? Don't do this, do this, this, and this. And can be great inspiration for folks, right? So very cool.
For sure.
So then when did you start Molly Mates?
Yes. So to circle back around to that, we got a little sidetracked. He was talking to the owner and we were trying to get like a luncheon or something going. And he was like, I'm actually trying to sell my Molly Maid. And so Jeremy came home and he was like, we have an opportunity here to kind of build out horizontally, which is kind of what we had in mind anyways for our portfolio. Like you could only expand so much before you have to start adding managers in other locations. And then there's some cultural shifts, and it works. Like what we have going right now works for our Oklahoma City territory and our Tulsa territory for Mr. Electric. But those are just, it just adds some different set of problems, I guess I could say.
Yeah.
And so we knew that we were probably maxed out for our Mr. Electric as far as territories in state. And then, so it was very exciting to have the opportunity to purchase Molly Maid. So we did purchase existing. And I think our first week in business in May of 2025, we did right around $7,000. We had 6 employees. So about $7,000. And I knew what I was doing, but I didn't know what I was doing yet. And so
she's an expert now.
I don't know what an expert, but this week we're on track to do 52,000. So
oh my gosh.
Say she's doing pretty good. It's a lot of toilets.
That's a lot of toilets, Tim.
That is a lot of toilets. But you know what? They're going to be dirty next week also.
That's right. And we'll be back.
That's the hope.
We will show my makeup, smiling with our cleaning supplies. And yes.
We have people apologize for being dirty, and we're like, we like you being dirty.
Thank you for that.
You just do you. We'll come by and clean it up.
Yeah. So currently our recurring revenue mine runs about 85% a week of my recurring revenue is somebody that's already, we leave their house today and they're already on the books for next week or 2 weeks from now.
Right.
So that's nice. It's very different than how Mr. Electric is as far as, I always joke that at Mr. Electric, we pray, give us this day our daily bread because like we need calls for today. We need calls for tomorrow. Yeah. But I have customers that the way the reoccurring schedule is set up, I'm booked out through December.
Right.
So love the reoccurring model.
Because once you get for Molly Maid, once you get a customer, for the most part, as long as you do a good job, you're going to be somewhere, whether it's weekly, every other week, whatever. Mm-hmm. You kind of have to try pretty hard to screw that up, or they move out of state or whatever, right? From that standpoint, and you're doing with Molly Maid, just as a basic kind of business model. Is it all residential, or do you get into any sort of commercial stuff as well?
We do some light commercial, attorneys' offices, dental offices, medical offices, where we can go in after hours, before hours. We have started. I have a team that always wants to work on Saturday, and so we've built out a lot of law firms that want to be clean, but nobody there.
Nice.
And we can take care of those, and so that's really nice.
Okay, that's very cool.
So I would call it light commercial because we're not doing.
It's
just
probably
a ton of that, but
I would say it's probably easily 95% residential.
Yeah, that's fair.
Got it. But it's a nice add-on to have some of the light commercial, and then I'm guessing if it's a doctor's office or attorney's office or whatever, maybe they weren't using you for their home, but now all of a sudden they're like, well, hey, you could clean my house too, right? Or kind of vice versa with that, correct? So
that's exactly right.
Yeah. And then when your cleaners are there, how often are they trying to break something electrical so Jeremy's team has to come in and fix it?
Unfortunately,
or Jeremy's team makes a mess when they're at some place and go, hey, you should call this Molly Maid owner.
Unfortunately, like with Mr. Electric and Molly Maid, there's not a real great referral partnership there, as well as like maybe a heating, air, and a plumbing, or window cleaning and of house cleaning and stuff. Unfortunately, there's not that great transition. We definitely share customers back and forth. It's not as much as like if it was, two businesses that are kind of in the same vein. They're very much in different veins there. But her customers are our customers, and our customers are her type of customers, as far as household incomes and, people like that. So there's not a whole lot going back and forth. I will say the ladies do break things, and we get to go fix them, and, we don't charge, obviously, but, they'll knock down a light fixture or, a can light trim or something. It's always something really small and petty.
Yeah.
So.
High dusting apparently is rigorous. I don't know.
Those ladies are quick, man. They're quick. They're moving very fast. So they can see what happened. So for sure.
Very. You're talking about the high dusting. I'm just sitting here thinking of if there was a Molly Maid where I lived, Jenny, I'd be all over it. And I don't know how much you get this. I'm literally going through a bathroom remodel due to water damage, right? And so I came after being gone for a couple of weeks from vacation, came back, and there's literally like an inch of dust everywhere. And I'm like, are you absolutely kidding me with this, right? And so I call the company. I literally wrote the guy's name in dust on my dresser and took a picture, right? I'm like, was this how it's supposed to be, right? And like, they were super quick. The next day, all of a sudden, their cleaner comes over. So I'm guessing you guys both probably have gotten some good referral sources, whether it's realtors, contractors, whatever out there. How much does that play into kind of your business model?
Yeah, we have. I have several realtors that they just call, and I'm like, get to them, priority scheduling, because they'll use us 4 or 5 times a week for their make readies or
move in,
move outs. Or I actually have a lot of realtors, or I have 3 that are doing this. I suggested it to them. I sent them all an email because why would I not? And just said, I think the greatest, anybody can get a customer a cutting board when they buy a house, right? Like that's the
right.
But having their house ready, that they're not moving into somebody else's dirt before they move in, that's the greatest realtor gift ever.
Yeah.
Or
a gift card.
Yeah. Let them know that their house is truly move-in ready for them. So we're getting quite a bit of that. Realtors buying gift cards or just calling and scheduling it on closing day for their clients, and so that's very helpful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, and what's funny, you made a point there, because there are times we talk with folks looking at the franchises, and especially in home service, realtors are the greatest referral source on the planet. They got somebody for everything, right? And I think people get overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh, I've got to get like 100 realtors or whatever. And you said the number. It's literally the number I always tell people. You don't have to get all of them. Just get 3, right? Like and you're like, 3 are getting you like a job a week. And my guess is if they are gifting it, scheduling it, whatever, you're now have a new potential customer that you can tap into, all because of 3 realtors. Is pretty crazy how much it can grow just from that.
Well, and it's not just them using us. All 3 of the realtors have us clean their personal homes.
Yeah.
And now that they're understanding the gift of giving a clean house, I have a friend that's having a baby. A friend just had surgery. Can you go and clean her house? A friend lost her husband. I need to have her house. So it turns into so much more, because the gift, like gift cards, are a big deal, especially for us around Christmas and Mother's Day.
Right.
And it's something that not everybody thinks about, but that's a really great gift from one woman to all of your listeners. It's a really great gift.
Excellent. I love it.
Bonus points if they're in Tulsa.
No, I love it. So come back to, I've got like so many questions trying to come out of my head all at the same time. We've all kind of referenced neighborly just broadly because we know what the heck that is. So maybe somebody has not and doesn't know what that is. When you talk about, we got Mr. Electric and we got Molly Maid, all part of the neighborly umbrella. So give us a little scoop on who the heck is this neighborly thing?
Neighborly, yes. It's think of like this big company that owns the rights to all these other franchises. They're all in the home service realm. So at this point, I don't remember how many there was, like 21 or something. I don't work for Neighborly, so I can't tell you that. You can probably tell me, Tim.
I think it's 19 different brands in the U.S., right? So so it's this big, massive company. And so with, again, if we had a Neighborly person on here, they'd be like, oh, there's tons of support and we do all this blah, 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 blah.
Sure.
Yeah, you guys are owners, right?
Yeah.
They're like,
ask me what you want. I'll tell you the truth.
they're not like, does that really matter? Do you get support from the franchisor? Yeah. What are some ways in which maybe they have been helpful to you guys?
Well, for one, I mean, you have like franchise business coach, and then you have like local marketing specialist. So let's just take those two positions that they develop and give each franchisee. And so if you need help with any kind of marketing something, you kind of have a throat to choke. You know what I mean? Not that they're the one responsible for it, but you know, when you come into this, you don't know marketing.
Right.
You know? And so now you can contact, not only does your FBC know, which stands for franchise business coach, not only do they know something, but also they have someone specializes in marketing to be like, hey, here's what's going on in your market. Here's the, you know, numbers, blah, 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 blah. Here's what your competitors are doing. Like, they can give you they have more data than what you would get by yourself by far. Like, I just got a map that comes in a zip just this morning. Yeah. That comes in a zip file because it's so large, giving you, I mean, if you're a nerd with numbers, bruh, you could be on it all day and just figure out where to put your marketing dollars. And so I have a call with my marketing specialist every other week. And then my FBC is weekly. I meet with him, my franchise business coach. And so that's literally what it sounds like. Is a lot of times the business coach he's knowledgeable, or he or she is knowledgeable about it, about all kind of things, but he's a jack of all trades, or she's a jack of all trades. So they're the connector. They'd be like, okay, you need to talk to so-and-so or whatever. And sometimes that's another franchise owner, which is going to be your number one thing you get with Neighborly is they have so many contacts. You can meet so many other people that are doing exactly the same thing we're doing. And we can call them on a drop of a hat, spare of a moment, and say, hey, what you got going on with this? And they give you an answer, and you got it fixed within, an hour. You can't do that if you don't have a business, you don't have a franchise. And Neighborly provides that really, really nicely. And there's other benefits too, but I talk too much.
I very much view my franchise business coach as, and I'm going to age myself here, but as a Rolodex.
You did this. You just aged.
You knew your parents had a Rolodex.
That's
Jenny,
right. I did.
And right, like, yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
That's right. I've been digital a whole lot.
Yes.
So I have a question, I shoot it to her, and she might be like, I don't have the answer, but let me get that answer for you. Right.
Yeah.
But it's just such a blessing. And on the flip side of that, what he already alluded to, but your greatest resource are other franchise owners.
Yeah.
And Mr. Electric and the Molly Maid family. I always hesitate to say family, because family sometimes for some people is like, if it's a family, I don't want any part of it because of their family experience. Right. From my perspective, that's a very positive term to use, but they're just a wealth of knowledge because they've done everything. Somebody out of the 254 Molly Maid owners has dealt with a car wreck. Somebody has dealt with theft. I need to fire this person. What steps do I need to go through without having to pay unemployment or whatever the case may be. So, but on the other side of that is you get an opportunity to support so many other people. I have right before we hopped on, I had a friend that is an owner, and he texted and he was like, I've got questions for you. Can you call me today? Yes, I can. And so you get to put into practice the giver's gain of we're giving, but we're also calling other people too.
What if your 9-to-5 job didn't last forever? What if there was a better way to create professional success your way without fear of layoffs or downsizing? What if I told you that it's all possible through franchise ownership? Franchise ownership gives you a proven playbook to execute so you can be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. But with thousands of franchises out there, how do you know which is the best one for you? That's where FranCoach comes in. FranCoach will help build out your ideal business model based on your talents, skills, and core values. Then use our proprietary knowledge of the franchises to bring curated options based on what you want, and then guide you through the vetting process until we find your best match. Individualized, personalized, and 100% free to you. Ready to control your future? Scan the QR code or visit francoach.net. And let FranCoach help create your better tomorrow.
Yeah, I love it. I think that in general in franchising, I don't think we do a good enough job of talking about the owners in a brand and how helpful and impactful they can be for each other, right? Because you get your franchise business coach, which is amazing. And I always think, like Jeremy, like kind of a connector, but they're also like part-time therapist, I think, too, right? So you just have somebody you can talk to, and they're helpful, but there's nobody better than another owner of knowing exactly what you're going through. 100%. Now, for you guys within Neighborly, you've got the opportunity for Jenny, for you to talk to other Molly Maid owners, or Jeremy to talk to other Mr. Electric owners. But now within your area in Tulsa or in Oklahoma City, you can also now talk to owners of other brands, and again, get some, hopefully, Jenny, you know these 3 realtors, and this person knows these 3 realtors, and all of a sudden now we've got some introductions because of the relationship you guys are able to build from a quality standpoint, right? I'm guessing that have you seen the benefits of that with the other owners as well?
We have. I mean, more so than if you were not a franchise owner.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, when you buy a franchise, you're getting systems and stuff, but more than anything, you're getting help. You're not alone. You're getting the support, right? You're not on an island. And so, would we love it to be better? Like where you had other franchise, like let's say some of the other Neighborly brands, where we were able to work with them more. But not everybody has the same mindset as Jenny and I, and even you, Tim, where we're like, hey, let's work together. Let's pass refer. Like some people are like, they're just like, hey, this is my business. I'm going to do it. And you just don't work with that kind of mindset. I don't understand it, but I don't have to. But there are going to be some of those deadheads out there. But most of them, they're more than willing to help and pass referrals, and it happens. It absolutely happens. We get referrals from other concepts all the time.
Yeah. And Jenny, you made a good point too, because I think sometimes people go, if you're a new franchisee, you may not have very much to offer other franchise owners, but ultimately it should be, I think, the ability to be able to answer somebody else's question. One, like it's the right thing to do. And I think sometimes it even just breeds more confidence, or sometimes it's something like, I forgot that myself, and we're missing that, or kind of letting something slide in our own business just because somebody asked a question. So there's a lot of ways it can kind of help grow.
It definitely does. I spoke with somebody that's in their first year last week, and she was telling me of something, and I was like, you know what? She is such at a basic and foundational level of building stuff out that I'm like, I really need to get back to that.
Right. Kind of forgot. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's things I had time for when I had 6 employees that I don't have time for when I have 40.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And so just having those conversations with her, I mean, you're giving back and forth. I would encourage anybody who's in their first year of business you have stuff to offer just because your perspective.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny. We have the same thing with our team at FranCoach. Is we got some new people in their first year, basically, and we're doing whatever to kind of coach and train them and everything. But there's always things that they're going to ask something, and maybe I answer, and I'm like, that hasn't come out of my brain in a while, right? And then sometimes it helps get back to just the fundamentals of what we do with this, right? Kind of back to the blocking and tackling. But you mentioned staff, and I want to talk about that because I think it's one of the biggest things that will scare the crap out of people when they're looking at a franchise. It's one thing to have a team when you're an employee. It's another thing when you got to reach into your pocket to pay those folks, right? And you are 100% in charge of finding them, hiring them, managing them, knowing when to terminate, right? All of those things. And you have very diverse or different types of staff. And that, Jeremy, you've got skilled labor, right? Jenny, you got the opposite. You got 40 employees, right? Is that what you said? Right. And Jeremy, you probably have less than 10, right?
14, somewhere around there.
Okay. Right there. Well, yeah, because you got you much bigger thing. And so what have been some of the challenges? Jeremy, I'm gonna start with you first. Now, you are an electrician yourself, correct?
Yeah. Right.
So most owners in Mr. Electric, and literally I mentioned before we came on air that we've got a couple was just at Meet the Team Day for Mr. Electric. He literally just texted and said he got the phone call and they got awarded, right? And so he's decidedly not an electrician, which most people into that system are not. What are some of the challenges or maybe some of the kind of both sides? What are some of the good things of having very skilled labor, but what's maybe a little bit of a challenge for you guys?
Well, being skilled labor means that there's an element of not everybody's qualified, right? You have to have a license, you have to have knowledge, and so forth. Now that eliminates a lot of competition. So there's two ways to look at this coin, two sides. So number one, I don't have to deal with Chuck in the truck, Dan DeVan, just decide, hey, I want to go twist wire nuts and put light fixtures up, right? Like there's a skill to it. And in Oklahoma, along with most states, you have to be licensed to perform the work. If not, it's illegal. You get fined. So, so we're doing away with the threshold, or the entry level is way way higher with the Mr. Electric model. So I don't have to deal with someone that just decided, I'm going to open up, I got a van and I got a screwdriver, let's go do work. So we're dealing with people that have the same prices as we do. We're dealing with that. Now, then puts the other side is we got to find the right staff.
Right.
And the term ABC, always be closing. Yeah, we say ABR, always be recruiting. And if you're not, you're going to be so behind the eight ball. You do not recruit when you need them. You recruit when you don't need them. I had someone text me today, actually, and he just asked, he said, hey, I'm not liking where I'm at. I need a different scene. Are you hiring? And then we're not. But I'm definitely going to string him along and keep him on the hook, right?
Right.
I'm going to help him and everything else. And I have multiple people like that. So we're always recruiting at Mr. Electric. The best thing that we have found is you always recruit and you hire according to like culture fit. This is for us. Hire culture fit, hire for guys that are bought into the vision of what you're doing. We do a lot of sales at Mr. Electric. So if people are into sales, man, Mr. Electric is the way to go. Like people, they make really, really good money over here. But also there's sometimes prima donnas, and so hiring the culture is really, really important. And so we hire people that we get along with, people that kind of have a company focus and stuff. And even if they're apprentices, and then we just groom them and then get them their license. And that's been the most success for us, is actually just putting in the time and pouring and investing into somebody. That way you get them exactly how you want when they get into a van. So I hope I answered your question on the Mr. Electric side there. I don't know if that was.
No, absolutely. And it's funny. One of the things was when we work with people and they're getting close to like, hey, I'm about to like this couple right now, I'm about to become a franchise owner. I will tell people, look, I'm about to get on my labor soapbox for a second, and you're just going to have to deal with it. And I use the always be closing. And I do always ABH, always be hiring, right? Like just never stop that, right? Because there's the negative of like, oh, somebody's going to quit, or I'm going to fire somebody, or somebody gets hit by a bus. What about if you're growing, right? And you need more people, and all of a sudden you're like, uh-oh, I've got to now start this whole process from scratch, and it's going to take 30, 45 days. Like for you, you probably already know your next couple hires, right? For this, based on that. So when the time is right, poof, you got people to put into play, right?
Tim, I could tell you so many stories in doing business where, we had one, this was a really rough year starting out because we had a mass exodus because I was not focused on recruiting and I was kind of out. And I say mass exodus, we had 3 guys leave, which for us, that's a big deal. It's like, wow, because no one leaves us. And so he was kind of crazy, and I wasn't recruiting. And so I was caught behind the 8 ball, and we didn't actually recruit until about the 4th month. The start of the 2nd quarter. And so, always be recruiting is so important. I got lots of stories I could tell you about like being caught behind the 8 ball. Or here's the biggest one is, and this may not be something these people are looking to get a franchise. They're looking to get to shift their mindset to ownership. And so there's something in leverage with an employee. Either they have it or management has it or leadership has it, however you want to put it. And whenever the employees have the leverage, they know it. They know if like things are like really busy and you can't do without them and stuff, their demands go up higher, their complaints go up, stuff like that. And then if you don't have someone waiting in the wings, you're kind of leaning towards like, okay, you're going to keep this bad help simply because you don't have someone ready to come on. But me, like, if I have the leverage, or Jenny has the leverage, or whoever is having a business, if you have the leverage, meaning you have people ready to come on, you're keeping people happy, but they mess up or they do something, you're not scared. You don't have the fear of losing that person. So if you take away the fear, they have no leverage.
Right.
And so if you can manage your risk of like losing an employee, man, that's the position you want to be in. You can't do that unless you're always recruiting.
Always.
Always.
That's the skilled side, right? So, Jenny, you're on the other side of the equation with this, right? There's not licensure or apprenticeship or whatever for somebody to work for you at Molly Maids to clean. So talk about kind of how that's different for you, kind of some of the good, maybe some of the bad.
So for us, like this year, we're growing year to date we're at 34% growth this year to date. And so we're on average hiring 2 people a week.
Oh my gosh.
So then you've got these training situations. I don't want to call them problems because they're good, but you've got these training situations, and do I have somebody who's available to train them? Then you have, especially during the summer with managing, 40 women, you have the kids and this one's sick and that one call-ins, whatever. So I've just figured it out, like how many I need for my revenue, like how many people I need, how many cars I need on the road for the revenue goals and all of those things. However, 36% of my employees were employee referred.
Yeah, I love that.
So that's a really great problem to have until you've hired a sister and a cousin and they got in an argument at Sunday dinner, which is fine. I can work through it. I have
switch teams they're on, right?
Yes. It's get them out the door quick so that other one can,
right.
Yeah. So you're just, but to your point of it is non-skilled labor and all of the training is on the job. I don't want to say that everybody is replaceable though. And I don't want to say that we just hire anybody that can fog a mirror. There was a time that I was like, she looks like she can move a toilet brush. I think that would be okay. And that's not a great strategy. That's not a winning strategy, as the kids say. And so so for us, because we aren't hiring skilled people or licensors or any of those things, for us, we're hiring attitude.
Yeah.
And you know that pretty quickly in an interview.
When they ask questions like, give some examples of questions of people that would not fit, like what questions are being asked. And because he doesn't think you're a rocket scientist.
Right.
Oh, I literally had a lady that said, I'll need to take a 2-hour lunch because I have to take a nap every day. And I was like, I don't actually think you'll be a great fit for us. Just the craziest stuff. Or come in reeking of alcohol, weed, whatever.
Do I have to work all day, every day?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you gotta give them credit for their honesty and transparency.
Yes.
At least you know that up front. You talked about your referral rate, and you've basically had the Molly just a little over a year, right? Year and a half. How long have you guys owned the Molly Maid?
We just hit 5 years.
5 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And,
but we tripled in 5 years. So like, I've seen all the hiring things. But
I always think it's a good sign when you're getting such a high percentage of your employees are referrals, right? Which tells that they like working for you. They like the culture, right? And again, if you like something, you're going to go, I should get I may argue with my cousin at Sunday dinner, but I still like them enough and want them to have a good place to come work. So it speaks volumes of, again, if you're always recruiting, right? Like you guys talk about, and you're building a good culture. And again, for you guys as owners, like you're the ones that got to get up and do this every day. So you get to like, oh, I can't stand this person, but they're going to be a good cleaner. There's probably somebody else that you will like that can do it, right? So having that control over it and learning some of those mistakes that you talked about early on of like, oh, they can fog a mirror, or this person's a master electrician, but we hate them and can't stand them, and nobody else on our team likes them. It's just not worth it. Life's too short, and it just wrecks everything.
That's exactly right. And success is too hard to reach. For me to have somebody that's in here making me feel like I don't want to go to the office and do the things I love doing. They don't get that kind of control in my life.
It's for one, I mean, business can be stressful as it is. We don't need people to make it worse when we have the choice to, if they're in our lives or not.
Yeah.
We get to choose that as an employer. And honestly, and so that's, if they add stress to it, I mean, then they can move on to the next company, and we're going to be all right.
We like to say we release them to find other opportunities.
Right. So somebody,
World is your oyster. Go see what you can find.
right. Somebody will offer them a job that allows them a 2-hour lunch so they can take a nap. And that's fine. Which might be business ownership. So, but, no, I love all of that. And you guys have, again, I love your story of how you've gone through this. And, you talk a lot about some of the things where you've had amazing success and like snooping behind your back within Neighborly. I'm like, yeah, are these guys really any good? And then like the people within both brands, they rave about one of you, and then they're like, oh, Jeremy's okay, right? Is usually how it kind of goes. So, but no offense, Jenny, I tend to lean towards the bald guys being the best on the planet. So there's that.
Same.
So,
yeah.
But I've heard and know how incredibly successful you guys have both been, but you've had a lot of trials and tribulations, so now somebody's sitting there listening to you guys talk, right? I think we're up to 9 listeners now, so I don't like to brag or anything.
Congratulations.
Pretty amazing, right?
Are we 3 of those 9? Are we 3 of those 9?
Yes, exactly. So, but somebody's out there listening, and they're like, oh my gosh, like whether it's Mr. Electric, it's Molly Maid Neighborly, McDonald's, whatever, what's maybe a piece of advice you would give somebody that's thinking about, geez, is franchise ownership even for me?
This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
Piece of advice. Well, don't get it. I wouldn't say do not buy a franchise if you want to just do it all the way you want to do it. If you're like, if you're so like stuck in your ways and your ideas are never wrong or whatever, for one, shouldn't be an ownership. But if you're just stuck in your, like, then why buy a system? Why buy the assistance? Why buy the help? Why buy the support? But if you are flexible and go, hey, you know what? I have a pretty good idea what I'm doing, but man, I would love some guidance, and you're a grinder. You can grind things out, make it happen, work hard. Yeah. Then I don't know why you wouldn't partner with somebody who could take you by the hand and go, hey, here's your next steps. And maybe they're not in the trenches with you exactly, but they can grab your hand, pull you out of the trench wherever you need. And so
right.
I would say just follow the systems that you're purchasing. You're going to buy a franchise, and be prepared to work. Like this, it is your business. It's your baby.
Right.
There was never a time whenever we were going through art stuff that it was like they really came down and was like, hey, I know it's difficult for you guys. Let me just take over for the next month.
Right.
It's our business. It's our business, and you have to kind of have that mindset of, yes, they're there for help and support, but they're not swinging the bat for you. They're just telling you what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right, so you can swing better. So, yeah.
I would say the thing that Jeremy and I live by is, franchisee or not, at the end of the day, when we lay our heads down tonight, the success of Molly Maid and Mr. Electric are our responsibility, and the failure of Molly Maid and Mr. Electric are our responsibility. And so I would say somebody that's looking into business ownership, you need to be willing to be the fall guy. You have to be the one that says, that's my fault. Whether I hired somebody and didn't properly train them, whether I made a poor choice, whether I didn't invest the time in marketing or money in marketing that I needed to, it's mine, and it was my screw up.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
when if my ladies are out cleaning tomorrow and they, I don't know, do something absurd, bust a marble countertop or something, that's my fault. I didn't have enough proper training, or I overloaded their schedule and made them feel like they had to speed through that, or whatever. That's my fault. And I think successful owners all have that in common of, at the end of the day,
Extreme ownership.
yes, which is a great book.
Yeah.
Win, lose, or indifferent, you have to be willing to say, my successes are my responsibility and my failures are also my responsibility.
Yeah, I love it. No, it's that people, everybody we talk to when they're talking about wanting to become a franchise, one of the words they always say is like for why is control, right? Control over, freedom, flexibility, time. If I'm going to work hard, it's for me, but it's also the control of the decisions, right? And it's the beauty, and you guys both articulated this really well. It's the beauty of franchising. It's the proven system. It's all the support in the world. But at the end of the day, like, they're not out there doing everything for you. You've got to want to be the person in control of those decisions, and knowing that if you screw one up, you're also the person that gets to fix it, right? And knowing that you can always rely back on that support. So I love how you guys have laid that out so incredibly well. So,
Hey, Tim, I'll also say, I think we're giving you probably the quick answer, and I think it's accurate. But I know, Jenny and I, honestly, our success, the reason why we do well, and what advice I would give is we pay attention to KPIs or benchmarks or key performance indicators. We pay attention to numbers and metrics. I don't think you can do business without that. You got to know where you're at, measures, and then, revert. Anyways. But at the end of the day, like, the way we operate life is we see people over profits. Profits come. So the advice I would give to people that are looking to start business is, what's your why? Get that nailed down before you even choose what business you want to go with. For us, we want to benefit lives. We want to benefit not just our customers, but probably more importantly is the people who work here, our teammates, and the community. So we have an open hand. We've given like, I can go through a list, like all the stuff we give, and we just, it's reaping and sowing. We get it back, but we do it just to better people's lives. We invest in people. We invest in human beings. I've had multiple guys that left here, 5 exactly, that's left, and they started their own business. They're in business for themselves and stuff. And, it's kind of like, that stinks. It stings. But at the end of the day, it's because we invested in them. We've had people that we put through school, had Molly made, or brought in and got their, like, all kinds of stories. And if you focus on the numbers and the KPIs, you're going to be ups and downs, just like the numbers go. But if you keep your consistent, like, your reason why you're starting business, and put that perspective in order and keep it right in front of you, even whenever crap is hitting the fan, things are a lot smoother. And for us, that's always been just giving to people, investing into people. 100%. Like, I think that's probably our real answer of, like, our advice to anybody is, like, whatever you're getting into business for, know your why, and get that right in front of you, and keep it in front of you. Because when times suck, which there will be a time
they will. Yeah,
that's right. There will be a time where it sucks, and you just have to be like, why am I doing this? You can look back and be like, okay, this is why I'm marching for.
Yeah.
So
I'll piggyback on that, Tim. I think some of our greatest moments of success haven't been, we've won, like,
Franchise of the Year,
International Franchise Association Franchise of the Year. So that's like international, right?
Right.
Like, so really cool
we're
things.
kind of a big deal.
But my greatest moments and my greatest successes was in 2021, I hired a girl that had aged out of the foster system. No support, no anything. At the time, she was living in her car. So I got to go with her to sign her first apartment, like her lease.
Oh my gosh.
Jeremy and I got to put her through dental hygiene school, and I got to pin her when she graduated that. So she left me, yes, but she left me set up. The rest of her life is, and she still, I text her last week, like, we talk often. She'll randomly text me and be like, I can't believe this is my life. She paid cash for a new car because we sat down with her and taught them how to budget. Just, that's the kind of stuff that no profit margin can match that.
No, it's the impact that you're able to make, like in the community and on the people. And you're right. Like we always tell our clients, the money will follow the fit, right?
Yeah,
if you guys find the right fit and for you with the people, I mean, it's weird to say, but the money's kind of the easy part at that point. Right. So, I love all of this. I can't, seriously, I could talk to you guys forever, but I'm sure you got like stuff to do. So, I just want to thank you guys so much for taking the time to come on and share your fantastic story with everybody. Thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, thanks again for tuning into the Franchising 101 podcast brought to you by FranCoach. I hope these episodes continue to educate you on the amazing possibilities that can be achieved through franchise ownership. In between podcast episodes, if you still want to learn more about franchising and the ways in which FranCoach can help, there are a few places for you to check out. First, tune in to the Franchising 360 show. It is the only nationally syndicated television show about franchising hosted by me and Danielle Wright. Our TV show airs every Friday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on Biz TV. Next, check out the FranCoach YouTube channel, which is FranCoach for You. You can find tons of franchise-specific content there. Plus, you can catch past episodes of the Franchising 360 show. If you like to read, we encourage you to check out our book, Becoming a Franchise Owner. You'll never guess what it's about. And finally, when you're ready to take that first personalized step and explore the franchise industry further, please reach out to our amazing team at FranCoach. You can click the QR code or find us at francoach.net. There is never any fee for our service, so let us help you create your better tomorrow.
Close your eyes, exhale, feel your body relax, and let go of whatever you're carrying today.
Well, I'm letting go of the worry that I wouldn't get my new contacts in time for this class. I got them delivered free from 1-800-CONTACTS. Oh my gosh, they're so fast.
And breathe.
Oh, sorry. I almost couldn't breathe when I saw the discount they gave me on my first order. Oh, sorry. Namaste.
Visit 1-800-CONTACTS.com today to save on your first order.
1-800-CONTACTS. The right window treatments change everything. Your sleep, your privacy, the way every room looks and feels. At Blinds.com, we've spent 30 years making it surprisingly simple to get exactly what your home needs. We've covered over 25 million windows and have 50,000 five-star reviews to prove we deliver. Whether you DIY it or want a pro to handle everything from measure to install, we have you covered. Real design professionals, free samples, zero pressure. Right now, get up to 45% off site-wide, plus get a free professional measure at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.